Abby here from Get Your Hook On. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create Mosaic Tapestry crochet using charts and written instructions that are going to tell you exactly when to change colours. Now, I know a lot of people see lots of colour changes in Mosaic Tapestry and they're really daunted by that. So I'm trying to show you it's actually really simple, and my new charts are going to help you along the way. So the sample I'm going to demonstrate to you looks like a normal chart, which is, except some rows are using two different colours to create the pattern. So in this chart, rows 4 and 6 use both colours B1 and B2, which is green and orange. Now, if you've done mosaic crochet before, you'll recognise that the blank squares mean it's a back loop single crochet. Now, this is in US terms. This whole tutorial is going to be in US terms. So a blank square is a back loop single crochet. A square with a X in it is a front loop double crochet. That's very normal for mosaic crochet. But I've got a couple of new symbols here, and these tell you exactly when to change colour. Okay, so a circle means that you're going to change colour on a single crochet, these three here, and a circle with an X in it means you're going to change colour on a front loop double crochet. So let me crochet this up for you, and we'll show you exactly how and when to change colour using this chart. Okay, so the colours I'm going to use for this are Hint of Silver for colour A, I've got Meadow for colour B1, and I've got Burgundy for colour B2. These are all Stylecraft Special DK, and I'm going to use a 4mm hook. Okay, let's just pop these out the way because we're starting with colour A. Now, this chart is a repeat of 8 stitches, so it's multiples of 8. So if I'm going to do this twice, so that's going to be 16 stitches plus your 2 border stitches, your last stitch, and 1 for turning. So that's 16 plus 4, which is 20 stitches. If you are doing a foundation single crochet or single crochet foundation row, you know what I mean, then it would be multiples of 8 plus 3. Okay, so let's find my end. So this is Hint of Silver, and this is my colour A. So I'm going to chain up 20 stitches. Let's get enough of that there. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and then I'm going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, which is that one there, and single crochet all the way back along. And then I'm going to have 19 stitches because I'm doing this twice. You can, of course, use this chart to make anything you want. You could, it's just a sample chart, so, and it's obviously free. So if you want to make a scarf, if you want to make a blanket, go for it. I've never actually done that. I've only ever made little samples, so that might be quite a cute wee scarf, actually. Maybe I'll do one day. Okay. I'm really just rambling because I'm just doing single crochets and it's a bit boring. But we're getting there. It's a good job I wasn't doing a bigger sample. I'd start telling jokes or something. Because you don't need to hear me counting, do you? Right, nearly there. Oops. Last one. Okay, I'm going to chain 1 to fasten it off, snip it off. Okay, that is row 1, that is your foundation row. Okay, row 2 is colour B1, and for this I'm going to be using the Meadow. Now, the chart will always tell you what colour to use, So that's B1, this is row 2, and on row 2 there is nothing in the boxes, so they're all blanks, which means they're all back loop single crochet. So let me get my end here. Okay, so starting from the right hand side again, you're going to find that first stitch, put your hook through both loops to create your border stitch, tie on your yarn, chain 1 to fasten it, and then back into the same stitch and do a single crochet, and that's your border stitch. Okay, now again, this is nothing in the box, so it's all back loop single crochet. So in that back loop there, and you just do this all the way along until you have one stitch left. Do, 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 do. Okay, you could of course just fast forward this bit if you want. Fast forward, do you say that on digital videos, or is that just like a VHS thing? Right, one more. Okay, and this last stitch here is your final border stitch, so I'm going to go through both loops and then chain 1 to fasten off and snip it off. The border stitches have single crochets through both loops because it just gives it a little bit more stability to whatever you're making. Okay, so row 1 and row 2 done. Row 3 is colour A again, so that's back to my hint of silver. So again, same as normal, you first stitch is your border stitch, so that's through both loops, tie it on, chain 1 to tighten it, back through into the same stitch through both loops, and single crochet, and give that tail a wee tighten, a wee tug. Okay, now first stitch has an X in it, so that is a front loop double crochet. So follow that stitch down to find the front loop and do a double crochet there. The next 7 stitches are all blank. Now remember, this is your repeat in the box. You only do the last stitch once all your repeats in the box are finished. So the next 7 stitches to the end of the repeat are blank, and that is back loop single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's the end of the repeat. So you start here again, which is your front loop double crochet, which is follow the stitch down and pop it into that front loop there. Just get myself a wee bit more yarn, and then again the next 7 stitches are back loop single crochet. This is all just very normal mosaic crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I wasn't counting, 6 and 7, and that's the end of the repeat. And then your last stitch here after all the repeats, it's got an X in it, so that is your front loop double crochet down into there, and then your final border stitch. Give it a tighten. Oops, yoink. Okay, there you go. So rows 1, rows 2 and rows 3. Now's the good bit. So row 4 here uses 2 colours. It tells you here colours B1 and B2. B1 is my meadow, B2 I'm using burgundy because I couldn't find any orange, but it doesn't matter. These can be any colours that you want them to be. So this first column here will tell you what the first colour is that you're going to be starting with, but it also tells you in the border stitch as well. Okay, so get both strands, and I'm going to tie them both on to the right hand side into this border stitch. Can you hear my dog? He's in the huff because I'm not paying him any attention. Okay, so both strands, and pull them through that first border stitch, okay? But now you're just going to drop the burgundy and pick up the green and just do your chain with just the green, and then back into that stitch again to do your border stitch and do your single crochet with just the green. Okay, so what happens with tapestry is the color that you're not using at the time, you're going to carry that along, and then I'm going to show you when to change colors. So the first stitch is blank, so it is back loop single crochet. So I'm going to go into that back loop, but I'm also going to catch that burgundy so it gets trapped inside that stitch. Okay, second stitch has got an X in it, which is just a front loop double crochet. So I'm not going to trap the burgundy when I'm doing double crochets, only when I do single crochets. Okay, and I'll explain to you later why. So ignore the burgundy, just do front loop double crochet as normal with your green, like that. Okay, so that's just at the back there. The next stitch is a circle. So this is where I tell you to change colors. A circle is change color on a single crochet. Okay, and this is how you do it. So simple. So you start the stitch in your green, okay, pull up a loop. When you've got 2 loops on the hook, okay, you're going to drop the green. I pull it over to the front because it just kind of tightens it off. And then do your yarn over with your new colour and pull it through those 2 loops. Now this makes that stitch in green, but you've got a burgundy loop on the hook. Is that right? Loop on hook, yeah. Okay, so the next stitch, the next 2 stitches in fact, are back loop single crochet. So you're going to be doing it with the burgundy, again trapping the colour that you're not using in the stitch. Back loop single crochet, back loop single crochet, and the next stitch is a circle again, which means you're going to change colours. Now there's only 2 colours, so you're either changing colours from one to the other, and that's it. So because you know this doesn't tell you what colour to change to because it's the one that you're not using. So again, you start the stitch in the colour you're using, pull it through, 2 loops on the hook, pick up the green or the new colour, pull that through. So the stitches are all in burgundy, but you've now got a green loop on the hook. Okay, next stitch is just a back loop single crochet, catching the burgundy, trapping it in that stitch, and then the last stitch of the repeat here is a front loop double crochet down there, and again don't trap it in, just ignore it. Starting the repeat again, back loop single crochet, get a little bit more yarn here, front loop double crochet, change colour, start the stitch, drop it, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the new colour. Next 2 stitches are back loop single crochet, like that. Next stitch is a circle, change colour, start your stitch, 2 loops on the hook, pull it through with the new colour. Back loop single crochet, front loop double crochet, and that's the end of the repeat. Now your last stitch is blank, so that is a back loop single crochet. Can you hear my neighbour's dogs barking now? There's dogs everywhere. Shush, puppies. Final border stitch, and just make sure you trap in that burgundy as well. Complete the stitch, chain 1 to fasten it off. Now remember to snip them both off. Like that, pull it through to tighten it. Now these will be knotted later before you do your border, so it'll be all nice and secure. Okay, so that's rows 1, 2, 3 and your first row of tapestry. Okay, row 5 is colour A again. Start with your border stitch as normal. Tie it on. Okay, the first stitch is an X, that's front loop double crochet, single, double, three singles on the top of those burgundies there, 2, 3, okay. So you know how I told you to not bother trapping it in with double crochets? It's because it leaves just a tiny, tiny little thread there that's not really important. What's important, and you'll see when you get to row 6, is when you're doing lots of DCs in a row. But I'm going to show you how to deal with that, okay? If you want, you can trap it. What you do is you just start your back loop single crochet, you put your hook into that yarn there and trap it in that way. But when it's just a single, it doesn't really matter and you can just leave it, okay? Okay, so we're starting the repeat again. Double crochet, single, double, three singles, 2, 3, double, single, the last stitch is a double, and your final border stitch. Do both loops. Yoink, bing. Okay, there we go. So it's looking fairly neat. Okay, right. Row 6 again is back to your tapestry. It's using colours B1 and B2. So I'm going to get both strands of yarn again and just the same. I'm going to create the border stitch. I'm going to pull them both through, but I'm going to drop the burgundy and just use the green because that is the first colour for the border stitch, and pull it through, give all those tails a bit of a tug, back in to do your single crochet, which is your border stitch, and again just a nice wee tail tug. First stitch is blank, so that is a back loop single crochet. Remember to trap that other colour that you're not using into your stitches. Always trap your unused colour into your single crochet stitches. Blah 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 blah. Single crochet stitches. Stitch 2 is a front loop double crochet, so I'm going to just ignore the burgundy and just do my front loop double crochet in meadow. Next stitch is a circle, which is change colour on single crochet. So as before, start the stitch, pull it through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, finish the stitch with the new colour. Okay, next 2 stitches are just X's, so that's just front loop double crochet. Again, not trapping the yarn in. Okay, and here we go, here's a new one. So this is a circle with an X in it, and that is change colour on a DC. So just the same as the single crochet, you start the stitch, okay? So you've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, so you've got 2 loops on the hook, and then you're going to drop, always when you've got 2 loops on the hook, pick up your colour, complete the stitch. So the stitch is in green, but the stitch is in burgundy, but you've got a green loop on the hook for the next stitch. Next stitch is a back loop single crochet, and then the next stitch is a front loop double crochet, like that. That's the end of the repeat. So start again, single crochet, but trap that yarn into the stitch, carrying it along, front loop double crochet, don't trap it, single crochet, trap it. Oh no, back up, back up. It's got a circle, I meant to change colour. Bad Abby. Okay, so start the stitch, 2 loops on the hook, pay attention to your own charts, Abigail, complete the stitch. Okay, now you've got front loop double crochet, front loop double crochet, just pull some more yarn here, and then a circle with an X in it. So start your stitch, three loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops left on the hook, drop your yarn, pick up your new yarn and change colour. So the stitch is in burgundy and you've got green on your hook. Single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and your border stitch. My yarn's a bit squeaky and my hook's a bit squeaky. Snip it off. Okay. Oh look, it's like a pair of eyes. Anyway, what am I talking about? Oh, aye. Right, okay, so that's the end of the tapestry because we're going on to row 7, which is colour A. But I'm just going to show you the back now, okay? So where you didn't trap the other colour in these double crochets, you've got this big thread. So where it's just one single crochet, it doesn't matter, it's fine, but these are a bit of a hazard and I'm going to show you how to deal with them. So row 7 is colour A again, so I'll grab my colour A yarn, create my border stitch, through both loops. Okay, first stitch is an X. There's no special stitches on this anymore. This is just normal mosaic crochet now. And then we've got a back loop single crochet and a front loop double crochet. Okay, so when I'm going to be doing my back loop single crochet on these Mosaic Tapestry double crochets, where that thread is, yarn, Abby, it's yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through the back loop. I'm also going to catch, you see that? I'm going to catch that with my hook too, and I'm going to trap it in now. Single crochet, trapping it in, and it's gone, and it's secure. So just continue, double, single, double, okay, so we're going to do it again here. I'll show you. See, there it is there. So I'm going to trap it in now to the back loop, catch that yarn and trap it in. Okay, a few more stitches. And the final border stitch. Okay, so what are we on? We're on row 8. I'm just trying to find the end of my yarn here. Where's it gone? Oh, it's there. Right. So row 8 is colour B1 again. So let's get the last 2 done. Told you this was easy, didn't I? Right, so that's the border stitch done. So the first stitch is single crochet, double. I don't need to talk you through this, you know what you're doing now. 5 single crochets, 3, 5. Hold on, I just need to readjust myself. Okay, double, two, 3, double, last stitch, single, and your border stitch. Wink. Got into a bit of a habit doing that. Right, and then the last row, row 9, is in colour A again, and this just finishes off this repeat. If you wanted to keep going, remember the repeat is in the red box, so you wouldn't ever crochet row 1 again. That's your foundation row. You would start at row 2. Okay. Of course, if you do decide to make this into something other than a sample, the next repeat you do, these could be all different colours. More interesting. Okay, so first stitch is a double crochet, and then we've got 7 singles in the back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, front loop double crochet, and then again 7 single crochet in the back loop, and that's the end of the repeat. Do your last stitch. Your last stitch is just so that it ends up symmetrical, by the way. Not all patterns have last stitches, but this one does. And your final border stitch. I'm not going to yoink this time. Ping! Okay, and there you go. See, how simple is that? And there's the back. It's just stripes. It's just these stripes have 2 colours on them. How easy is that? Now, I know that not everybody follows charts, and this is what I've taken you through. So I just wanted to, let me just get out of the way a wee sec. I just wanted to show you and just explain to you, if you're using the written instructions. I've got a lot of stuff in here. You don't need to read this. This is all in the pattern anyway, explaining how to use the written instructions. But on a tapestry row of written instructions, it's color coded as well. Okay, so you start with your border stitch. Your asterisks are your repeat, and these stitches in green, you crochet them in the relevant color, and always the last stitch here you change color. So you'll go single crochet, double crochet, change color on that single crochet, and then of course you've got 3 single crochet in the burgundy here. Well, actually it's orange, but that didn't show up on the paper, so I've put it actually in red. So on the last stitch, So you're going to go 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then on the 3rd single crochet, you're going to change color. So the 3 stitches will be in that color, but the loop on your hook will be green, ready for this single crochet. Single crochet, double crochet, that's the end of the repeat. Repeat it as much as you need to, your last stitch and your final border stitch. Okay, all these instructions again are in the pattern, and it should be fairly simple to understand. Again, it tells you what row you're on, tells you the color that you're going to use. That's row 2 is B1, it's just the same as the chart. Row 3 is color A, row 4 is your tapestry, which is using B1 and B2. Again, the first column is in green, so that's the color that you're starting with, but you'll see that here anyway. Just always remember that it's before you change color, before you see a new color, it's the last stitch that you're going to change the color on. Okay, right, so then just another quick summary on the chart. X is a front loop double crochet, a blank stitch is a back loop single crochet, a circle is change color on a single crochet, and a circle with an X in it is change color on a front loop double crochet. And that's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Right, good luck. Let me know how you get on. Honestly, you'll be able to do it no bother once you get the hang of it. Changing colours is not a challenge. You'll be fine. All right? Catch you at the next one. Cheers. Bye.